This is the Meteor Dragoon here, and I'm doing a top 10 list of what I say is the best endings of all time. Yeah, I know several people have already done this, but it's just that pisses me off that the people who did Guinness pretty much had a popularity contest thing for the best endings of all time. And I would like to put my 2 cents in on what games have by far better endings than the COD, Call of Duty games. Now, keep in mind, I'm trying to keep it down to one game per franchise. This way it won't be all one gaming franchise, or all one or two of them. And now I'm going to start off with number 10, Lunar, Silver Star Story. I'm only using the complete version, only due to the fact I feel like it. But, to me, Lunar, not only did it, Silver Star Story, did it not only tie up loose ends, but, even though it had a sequel after it, Eternal Blue, it actually pretty much completed the entire story for it, tied up the loose ends, and it was a great game beginning to end. And it had a great story. And no, you might not see Mass Effect in the game, in my list, but I'm not saying the whole franchise beginning to end. I'm just doing one game per game, not per franchise. That was meant to be a trilogy. Then I'm going to say Final Fantasy. Wait, no, scratch Final Fantasy. For number 9, I would have to go with Silent Hill 2. Silent Hill 2 had a great story beginning to end, and one of the endings did have suicide in it, but it was only due to the fact that it was the bad ending, so to speak. And to be honest, Silent Hill has never been one for the happy or the style stories. They've always meant to mess with your mind. Then I would have to say for number 8, Star Ocean, because depending on the amount of variables that you actually had, it would actually change per the game. And hey, that's a good thing. But it also actually made you be like, gee, I wonder how it would do if I did it this way or that way or any other way. Hence, it's a lot better than a Call of Duty style game. And then I'm still getting to the better stuff. Then I'm gonna have to go with Shadow Hearts Covenant, another great game that we will after From the New World that we won't see a sequel to. Shame, because all we're getting now is first-person shooter, third-person shooter, first-person shooter, third-person shooter. Random fighting game! I'm tired of it. Of that stuff. Let's have a new game. A new series. Alright. So that's for the first 5. 10 through 6. Now, it's to the top 5. Okay. Now, now we're at number 6. Number 6, I would say Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Great game. Great story, ties up loose ends, and you don't have to worry about just constantly shooting everything. It has puzzles too. Good thing. Now, number 5. I would have to give it to... Now it's time for the Final Fantasy game, and I would choose 6. Why 6? Not only did it tie up loose ends, but it was also a great game. And note, I love Final Fantasy 6, but... And... Nope. If I hear, oh, 7 had a better ending, I've played 7. I felt 6 had a better ending. And then, for number 4, Fatal Frame 2. This is another game that, even though it didn't have the sales records, wait, it did actually have sales, but it was one of the best survival horror games out there for the PlayStation 2. Not only that, but it's a lot better than any Resident Evil nowadays. Okay, compare that. Let's compare Fatal Frame to Resident Evil 5. You don't have to worry about Sheva Alomar. 10 points in Fatal Frame 2's favor. Not everybody could survive. Another 10 points. And it was just a great game overall. Number 3, I would have to give to Shin Megami Tensei Persona 3. Mainly because not only did it have such an epic storyline ending, but it also did a great job at pretty much being as symbolic of a battle as it did for the final battle, and also for the story, or to the end. And the end actually had as much of a symbolic nature to it. So like after the journey comes death. Spoiler. You should have figured. I do spoilers in my top 10s. But, now, to the top 2. Tough choice between one of my favorite RPGs, other than Final Fantasy VI, and one of my favorite beat-em-ups. What 2 games am I talking about? If you've seen my videos, you already know my favorite beat-em-up. Here are the 2 games, and if I tell you which one it is, which one that's got number 2, you'd already know which one is number 1. So, my second favorite ending of all times would have to be God Hand. Not only did it have a hilarious yet over-the-top story, but it ended with a huge song number. Frickin' great. I cannot overemphasize how great God Hand's ending was. Hell, I still want to give Capcom Ballbusters, or not incorporating Gene in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And you know what? I still haven't bought it Ultimate. I've seen it. I've seen people playing it, and I'm like, why the hell are they playing a game that's going downhill? And now, as you already know, Chrono Trigger is my favorite game ending. Has my favorite endings. Only just fact, not only does it have the most variety in endings, because it has 13, 14 endings, but you can get each ending during any given time in the game. Just have to have the right level team, or at least know what the hell you're doing. Even though fighting Glavos at some times can be a huge pain in the ass if you're a low level or not ready for it. But I have seen all the endings, and I definitely would have to say that Chrono Trigger has the best endings over any Call of Duty game. And if you love Call of Duty, try to tell me how bad Call of Duty's ending is good compared to Chrono Trigger's endings. Does Call of Duty have? This is the Media Dragoon signing off.